What if I told you that the biggest contract extension signed this offseason also just so happened to be the best value? I'm Kyle Krabs with A to Z Sports, and the Buffalo Bills gave Josh Allen a monster 6-year, $330 million contract extension. Allen, of course, is the NFL's reigning MVP and is only playing better as he matures into the later years of his career. It was his efficiency last year and the ability to avoid negative plays that helped win him the MVP. But at $55 million per year on his new contract extension, that is a bargain relative to the Dak Prescott contract that was signed last summer to reset the quarterback market and blow the roof off. Prescott signed for $60 million per season and had near 100% practical guarantee for the money on his contract. Josh Allen did not come close to either one of those numbers. So that contract stands out like a sore thumb, especially as you expect Allen to continue to mature gracefully and quarterback contracts continue to rapidly extend as the salary cap continues to explode. The question is, will the next big quarterback contract, potentially Lamar Jackson's, surpass that of Dak Prescott? Betting money and smart money says yes, it will. And when that happens, the Josh Allen contract will only look that much better than it already does. But it wasn't the only great value contract that the Bills gave out this offseason for a player getting a new contract extension to stay with the team. And this is a critical piece of team building. The teams that can properly diagnose their players and their trajectory, the opportunity cost on the market, and the spending acceleration of the market with the growing salary cap are giving themselves needed margins to continue to keep more players together on the nucleus of their roster for longer, because you're getting them at surplus value versus what other teams are spending for other players when they sign them on the open market. Cornerback Christian Benford signing an annual average salary contract of under $17.5 million per season stands out like a sore thumb as you are watching the cornerback contract and the cap of it reach nearly double that amount with names like Derek Stingley and Sauce Gardner, and J.C. Horn with the Carolina Panthers, who signed for $25 million per year on an annual average salary basis, despite the fact that he has had one healthy season in his 4 years of play in the NFL. It wasn't just Buffalo. There's a couple of AFC contenders that also gave out what should be considered as surplus contracts. You look at Baltimore and wide receiver Rashad Bateman. It was a little bit of a surprise that they did business with Bateman because he signed a 2-year contract extension last offseason. But at 3 years and under $37 million in total value on the new contract extension for Bateman, he looks like he's going to be a big-time steal as a former first-round pick, especially relative to some of the other names like Josh Palmer in Buffalo, Diami Brown, who are getting $10 million on the open market. Rashad Bateman getting $12.25 certainly seems like surplus value. You also look at Kansas City with George Karlaftis, and this stands out in a big way as well. Karlaftis signed a 4-year, $88 million contract extension at $22 million per season. Meanwhile, Myles Garrett and TJ Watt are $40+ million per year. And Karlaftis is only 25 years old, and he's got 2 years remaining on his rookie contract. That is a no-brainer value that now locks Karlaftis in long-term at what is equal to half of the market rate for a top-of-market player. Now, would I take George Karlaftis before I take TJ Watt? No, I would not. But if you include the postseason, George Karlaftis is humming at about 80 pressures per season. It's an impressive mark, and he's over 120 in the regular season for the last 2 seasons combined. He's a very effective pass rusher going into the prime of his career, and he's making half of market rate. These are the kinds of contracts that you need to land if you want to keep your nucleus in place, and these are the kinds of contracts that stand out to me as surplus value for teams that are proactively signing extensions going into 2025.